ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाखया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। So here we find, before this Devahuti had said, I am very sick of the disturbances caused by material senses, for because of this sense disturbance, my Lord, I have fallen into the abyss of ignorance. So in the last verse, Devahuti expressed her dissatisfaction of the disturbances caused by the material senses, because of which the living entity falls in the material ignorance, performs varieties of ignorant activities, and as a result, life after life suffers without getting rid of this material entanglement. In this verse, we find Devahuti is saying, my dear Lord, kindly be pleased upon me and please take me out of this illusion. Atha me deva sammoham. So Prabhupada explains what is the meaning of this sammoha. Samyak rupena moha. Complete delusion. Moha is a kind of illusion. And when one cannot think anything beyond that illusion, that means completely captured by illusion, fully. That is called sammoham. So Prabhupada explains how this is called as sammoham. What is the meaning of this? In the material world, even though one understands that we are creating varieties of assets, we are trying to enjoy varieties of material sense objects, we are having different relationships, we work hard in this material world, but factually everything is taken away at the point of death. That Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Mrityu sarva harascha aham. And it is very clear. Everybody knows this fact. that whatever different things I create in this material world, Everything will be taken away at the point of death. But in spite of understanding, in spite of seeing it day and night, we are seeing it day and night. Grandfather was there, passed away. His grandfather was there, some relative was there, some friend was there. Isn't it? But still, we don't wake up to the reality. Still we don't come to our senses that why am I working so hard for some temporary material happiness? And that is why it is called sammoha. The living entity is so bewildered that he cannot see the reality. Even though with these eyes we are seeing everything, but we cannot realize that reality. So Prabhupada compares it is just like the animals tied in the slaughterhouse. So we know that how the animals which are tied in the slaughterhouse are meant to be slaughtered. If they are in slaughterhouse, they are meant to be slaughtered. If not today, tomorrow or day after. But the illusion is so much that the animal in the slaughterhouse does not realize this. It's a phenomenon. If you go to slaughterhouse, you can see this phenomenon. The animal which is taken out to be slaughtered, it cries, it is shouting. But other animals, they are happy. They are enjoying their food, they are munching. They are not scared. They are thinking, I have been spared, so I have a life to live. Not understanding the reality that another customer or another customer comes, my chance will also come. This is called sammoha. Full delusion. Cannot understand the reality at all. So here, Devahuti is saying that, my dear Lord, please be satisfied with me, please be pleased with me and take me out of this delusion. This delusion was caused by my false ego, and I am engaged in different activities of Maya under your direction. So then one may wonder that if it is under the direction of the Lord, then what is my role to play? What role I have to play? Isn't it? So then it may look like that for some living entities the Lord puts him in delusion, and for other living entities does not put them in illusion. And when he wants, he can take them out of illusion, and if he does not want, he does not take them out of illusion. So everything is factually controlled by him, isn't it? So this has to be understood properly. Prabhupada explains this very nicely in today's purport. The false ego of identifying one's body as oneself and of claiming things possessed in relationship with this body is called Maya. So, it begins with misidentification, and then the misconception later on begins. Everything begins with misidentification. When the living entity forgets his real position as the servant of the Lord, then the Supreme Lord gives him a facility to forget him, to forget his actual position. Because the living entity wants to enjoy in forgetfulness of the Lord. Krishna facilitates that desire of the living entity to enjoy in forgetfulness of him. So what happens? Krishna gives us a false ego. Okay, take this false ego, ahankara, that is called ahankara. This ahankara is the one which binds the soul, which otherwise is completely pure. It has nothing to do with matter. How the soul becomes bound to matter is by this ahankara. Just like there is no physical touch. Actually, soul and matter, Prabhupada gives the example, it is just like oil and water. It does not touch, isn't it? So then how it becomes bound? It becomes bound by identifying ourselves with matter. So how that identification happens? It is by this false ego, ahankara. The Lord gives us this ahankara because we want it. That I am not your servant, I want to enjoy independent of you. So if you have to forget your original position, so Krishna has to give you something by which you identify that yes, I am not Krishna's servant. So in the order of the Lord, Maya gives us ahankara. And once you are in ahankara, then you cannot do anything. You are just under the spell. Spell means you have no freedom not to identify. Isn't it? Practically there is no such freedom that you cannot identify. So then what we have to do? We have to cut this ahankara. This knot we have to cut. So how this knot has to be cut? That is what Devahuti is praying to the Lord. My dear Lord, please be satisfied. Please cut this knot of ahankara. This false delusion which I have been put. It is also by your order. Yes, by Krishna's order, but by my willing, by my desiring. Krishna ordered Maya, yes, capture this living entity. Krishna bahirmukha jeev, bhogavancha kare. Correct? This is the beginning. Beginning is forgetting Krishna, bhogavancha kare. We wanted to enjoy independent of Krishna. And that the result is the living entity is captured by Maya. Maya tare jhapatiya dhare nikatasthe. It's just like Prabhupada gives the example. Darkness and light are simultaneously together. Correct? So Maya is always there. The moment you forget Krishna, immediately you are under Maya. It's just like the moment you break law, you come under criminal laws. Otherwise, we are under civil laws. We don't have to fear police people. But the moment you break laws, you are under criminal laws. So similarly, Krishna is there and Maya is there. The moment we forget Krishna, Maya is very active. Immediately it captures us and puts under delusion. So once we are put into delusion, you cannot do anything. It is completely, you have to act as per the dictates of three modes of material nature. And in that three modes of material nature, when you become completely, when we become frustrated trying to enjoy this life, material life, life after life, then the living entity gets that experience and he starts thinking At that time, what is this? Been trying to enjoy, but I'm not getting any enjoyment in this material world. So when sincerely he starts feeling the pangs of material nature, then gradually Krishna starts dispelling his ignorance. He arranges to dispel his ignorance. Because till now we wanted to enjoy. So Krishna gave that facility. But now when we are realizing the truth, that actually I cannot enjoy, I'm only suffering, trying to enjoy. So when he starts feeling this, then Krishna starts revealing him the truth. Then Krishna guides him, sitting in the heart, approach a spiritual master, inquire from him, why are you suffering? And that's how we find Sanatana Goswami asked. This is how he asked. Ke ami? Who am I? Why am I suffering these threefold miseries? Isn't it? So, Bhagavatam explains how this delusion begins in the material world by our desire to enjoy this matter. So, in the material world, it is so created that once this ahankara binds us to this material body, it begins with aham. Mameti comes later on. First is aham. I am this material body. And then we see others also as their material body. So I am this material body, and they are also their material body, and we want to enjoy them. Specifically, it is explained in the Vedic literatures that actually we are Prakriti. Our constitutional position is we become happy when we are enjoyed. That is the meaning of Prakriti. Purusha becomes happy when he enjoys. Prakriti becomes happy when it is enjoyed. That is constitutional position. That is how Purusha is, that is how Prakriti is. But in the material world, even though somebody is in the form of a male, so-called Purusha, somebody is in the form of a female, Prakriti, but actually everybody is in the spirit of enjoyment. So in that sense, they are called as Purusha. Living entity is referred to as Purusha in Bhagavad Gita. False Purusha. Real is we are Prakriti. That Krishna says also. So, what happens? Now this knot has to become tightened. Then only we will become bound in the spell of Maya. So because of this ahankara, we identify ourselves as this body. I am male. And then we are attracted to somebody who is female. So now because I am thinking I am enjoyer, I am Purusha. We want to enjoy. So Bhagavatam says the knot tightening begins there. Pumsam striya mithuni bhavam etat. So male is thinking of enjoying and female is also thinking of enjoying each other, and that attraction causes a kind of a knot in the heart of both of them. Pumsam striya mithuni bhavam etat tayo mithor hriday granthi rahu. And that false attraction causes a knot in their heart. And then further what happens? So now expansion begins. Stri means actually expansion. So we expand our attraction to other objects, aham, and now it will begin mameti. Anything connected to this material body, now that is mine. So then what happens? Atha graha. So then we require an apartment, we require a place to stay. Kshetra, we require some space, we require some place to cultivate food and other things for our maintenance. Suta, then we require children. Chanakya Pandit also says that. He says, Putrahinam graham shunyam. Without suta, without children, without putra, graha is shunyam, isn't it? Graha means all these paraphernalias. Graha means when we want to get married, we are only thinking I and my wife. No. So many things will become attached to my house, my apartment, my relatives, mine. Isn't it? So actually, that is how it is. So Chanakya Pandit says, avidya jivanam shunyam. Without knowledge, this life itself is shunyam. Whole life is actually zero. Disha shunyam abandhavaha. And if you want to visit some foreign place, some place which you have no idea about, then if there is no temples of the Lord, and if there is no one whom you know properly, whom you can relate with properly, that is also shunyam. It is zero. Then putrahinam graham shunyam. And house without child, that is also shunyam. And he says sarva shunyam daridrataha. And even if you have everything, you have wife, you have children, you have even education, but you have no money with you, then everything is shunyam, because you cannot do anything without money. Isn't it? So like this. And then apta, so after sutta, we are not satisfied only with that, then we require relatives. If I have a house, somebody has to come and praise, very big house, very nice house, very beautifully decorated, sweet home. Somebody has to say, no, sweet home. So like that. So apta, with their money. So without money, isn't it? Nothing happens. Janasya mohoyam. In this way, he increases and increases his mohoyam. Sammoha. This is called sammoha. When we increase and increase and increase, and it becomes samyak rupena moha, completely drowned in that illusion, completely drowned. No chance of coming out. That is called sammoha. And then it is possible only by the mercy of the spiritual master, it's only by the mercy of Krishna. The sharp words of spiritual master, filled with spiritual potency, can actually cut away this illusion. Only that is the possibility. Otherwise, there is no possibility of coming out of this illusion. And that is what Devahuti is significantly asking Kapila, that with your wisdom, with your knowledge, please cut off this illusion. Be merciful unto me. Cut off this illusion. See? So, this is what we can see, and Prabhupada very nicely is explaining that actually it is a living entity who wants to enjoy, and Krishna only facilitates this sammoha through the agency of Maya. Indirectly, directly Krishna is not involved in your forgetfulness. Krishna is seated in the heart. You want to forget Krishna, Krishna will facilitate that forgetfulness. You want to remember Krishna, Krishna will also facilitate remembrance of Krishna. Mattah smritir jnanam apohanam cha. Smritir also comes by him. Remembrance of the Lord will also come by him. But we have to desire to remember the Lord. Then he will give. So, this is how it is. And very beautifully, these prayers by Devahuti are very significant. And we'll see more of these prayers in the coming verses. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.